Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to All About Racing of the Night of Trickle Treating. We're going to have a treat in store for you, though, as Interlagos, Brazil, for the fifth round of the season in F1 Racing League. Of course, a classic here at the Interlagos circuit in Portuguese is the track between two lakes. Fifth round of the season here in Brazil for the Division 2 anti-clockwise circuit here at Brazil. 15 corners, 2 DRS zones, 10 to the left and 5 to the right, 4.309 kilometers and 2.67 miles in length. Your best overtaking spots down towards that turn 1 and up towards the Reta Reposta down to Cedar Lago. The tyres C4 soft, C3 mediums and C2 hard tyre. We got Matt on top in the Drivers' Championships in the Mercedes, a reserve driver of Adrian second. Third is Sean MC. Fourth is Winch. Fifth is Tomo is 6th, 7th is Widget, 8th is Maybank, and 9th is Apex Joe, and Badger is 10th. McLaren leading the Constructors and Haas second, 3rd is Racing Bulls, 4th is Mercedes, and 5th is Aston Martin. We get into the session. I'm just double checking things on my end because I seem to have some issues today, but we seem to be alright, so welcome along. We've got 17 drivers for this evening's race. Sean couldn't be with us this evening, as I said. He's up there in the championship at the moment, 3rd place in that McLaren, missing out for the first time this season so far. Just on board with Tomo. In that middle sector. As he comes out of Young Cow and up the hill. And makes his way to the line. Second fastest a 1:08.7. We should see by the end of the session, if everything stays clear, into the 1:07s. Emotive Carrot as she comes around turn 8. On our way towards turn number 9, turn 10. Pica de Pato through Magulio, the downhill left, and as she brakes for the final braking zone of Young Cow and exits the corner. I will apologise to Emotive Carrot. I only found out today that she's actually a female, and I'm just so used to saying he, I suppose, because there's so little female races, but it's nice to see one in that Scuderia Ferrari. She comes up the hill, there we go, almost did it again, 7th fastest for her there. It's a 1:09.031. As her teammate Bucko comes into the pits. And as I was saying to Sean earlier on, if anyone's watching now or later on in the day, or in the next couple of days, we might make a channel in the Discord to just, you guys can just give me some information like age, where you're from, maybe your likes, dislikes, that kind of thing, gender as well, obviously that's important, and that kind of thing, just to give me a bit more of a know-how for you guys as well, make it a little bit easier on myself. Adrian going fastest in the first sector, it says. Again, I've worked out the niche on my app. If I get it working when you guys are loading in, it works fine. If I try and do it after you've loaded in, it doesn't work. So I'll remember that for future reference. I did try another app I was suggested, but it doesn't work in spectate mode, annoyingly. Turn 11, Magulio for Adrian. Up to the line, so as I said, the pole time looking at a 1:07.5, a couple of tenths either side of it. We've got a 1:08.5, so we're second off that. Maybe I've been a little optimistic as per usual. I'm just trying to see if this app can work. So that's just why I'm being a little bit quiet. A lot of drivers back into the pits already, as you can see. There's M-Bulk going through that first sector. Just doesn't seem to want to work, does it? Unfortunately for me, the other app does, but doesn't like to work after the fact. See if we can get that one to work, maybe. M-Bulk just exiting turn 9. Peronino and Magulio now down the hill into Young Cow. Final braking zone, 7.5 tenths, almost up on the previous attempts as he comes up the hill to cross that timing beam. 109.2 to beat. It looks like it's going to be a mid 108. Mid to low 108. 108.4. Provisional pole for PGSM Bulk. Bucko on a lap as well. As I said, the majority of the field in the garage at the moment. Groon is still, I can say, going to stay in the garage, down in 17th and last, and will be staying there after retiring from the session for whatever reason. Wasn't able to catch that earlier on, unfortunately. Vindog exiting Perolino and up into Pica de Pato, turn 10. Slight locking from the front right. It is getting dark overhead, isn't it? Here, darker in the last 5 or 6 minutes since we've actually joined the qualifying session proper. Out of Young Cow as we hear the roar of that Renault V6 that we will be losing next year, of course, as Alpine will become a customer team rather than construction manufacturer. Almost half a second up Vindog, and it's 7th fastest for him. As we see, who's that coming out of the garage? Is it the Reaper? Augusta, we'll find out in a second. Thatcher's about to start their lap in the Kick Sauber, along with Apex Joe behind. Quite wide though in turn 1, so we'll have to keep an eye out throughout the rest of the lap. They'll have to claw some of that time back from making that mistake in the first corner. Would have cost a tenth or two, as they're only a smidge up on their previous attempt. So Thatcher stays 15th for now. A lot of drivers out on the racetrack. Got just over 6 minutes to go in the session. Is Matico. Matico starts the lap through the Curva de Sol. Now overtake button is enabled. As he presses out of turn 4 and 5. And up the hill towards Ferragula. On a pretty good lap at the moment. 4th fastest, that 108.5. We're going to see anyone get into the 1.7s. We have done earlier on in the season in other league races on the channel. We're going to see it for the Div 2 guys in F1 Racing League in that middle sector. Matico is down out of that final corner and up the hill towards the start-finish line as the sun does start to poke through the clouds now. It's fourth fastest still, which is a tenth and a half down. Around 5 minutes to go in the session. So has got time to go again. Just under 5 minutes now, 4 minutes and 50 seconds as you can see on the clock. The Reaper goes across the line and then Narizi crosses the line. Or Nerys, that's better, isn't it? Nerys crosses the line. Provisional pole by 1/1000th of a second to Mbolc. Obviously, Nisri is in a pretty good position in the championship at the moment. 5th place on 61 points. 34 points behind the race, or the championship leader, should I say, not the race leader, who is Matiko, who, as you can see, is in 6th place, as we saw him on his lap on the previous attempt. Emotive Carrot, as she goes wide here and onto the grass, almost taking the Kimi Raikkonen line. Will she come in to get a new set of tyres on for a final run? It looks like we're going to have dry spells for the rest of qualifying. As I said, as that sun does poke out the clouds as she comes into the pitch. Remember, 10-second penalty in the race itself for crossing that white line, going over the speed limit, so everyone should keep an eye out on that. Gusta up in the first sector as it comes out of the turns 4 and 5. Decisa Largo up towards Ferrajula now. Into turn 8 and into Perolino, turn 9. 180 degree back to the left again. A short stretch towards Pico de Pato. That long downhill left through Magulio. Just over a 10th up on his time and then loses it in the mid-corner. Carried too much speed in that Red Bull and was facing in the wrong direction in the mid-corner. Has he got enough time to get in the pits and get back out again for a final run of the day? Pretty sure he will. So, Chocky has retired from the session with that 108.405. Will that keep them in the top 5? Maybe not. It's very, very close at the front. Are we going to see the 107s? We may do. Tomo very close to that with that previous attempt. Going slowly to recharge the battery. Probably got enough fuel to go again one more time. Got just over a minute to go, 1 minute and 20 left in the session. Got a few people on outlap, still a few people in the garage who decided not to come out for a final run of the day as Matt comes out and is on a flying lap, almost a 10th up in the first sector, flying through Ferrajula there, trying to keep the car looking like it's on rails. Slightly wide through turn 8, turn 9. Perolino again not so tidy on the exit. Gets the car in nicely into Pico de Pato. It's inherently understeery. That right-hander down the hill through Magulio. Lost some time in that middle sector. It looked like he did. He gets a good exit out of Young Cow and powers up the hill towards the line. Will he gain a few more places to try and hold on to his lead in the championship, which is 19 points as it stands, to the next man, Adrian, who is a reserve. It's front row for Matiko as he spins around in the mid corner of turn 1 in the Senna S. Emotive Carrot as she comes up to the line now. She is faster and goes 13th. It was just over 12th, sorry, goes just a tenth and a bit up on her previous attempt. There's a checkered flag. It is just about to fall as the Alpina Vindog didn't catch the lap time there, but just missed the checkered flag. The Aston Martin is up next of M. Bolt. Was on provisional pole earlier on. Will they get there again? No, it's down on their time. It's second row start at best for now. As we see the next few cars, is Tomo going to extend his provisional pole? No, he stays where he is. Matt's not on a lap. Nazari's not on a lap. Adrian not on a lap either. Vindog's going slowly. This could be the end of qualifying. Widget is slow as well. Emotive Carrot has completed a lap. That is the end of qualifying. Tomo will be starting on pole for the Brazilian Grand Prix. We'll be back for the standings in a moment. So here's your final order of qualifying. Tomo on pole, the Reaper is in second, Matiko third, Narisi, I can never do that, is fourth, M-Bulk is fifth, Chocky is sixth, seventh is Apex Joe, Adrian eighth, ninth is Foxy, Vindog is 10th, Chief Badger 11th, 12th is Emotive Carrot, Widget 13th, 14th Bucko, Gusta 15th, Thatcher's 16th, and Groom starting 17th and last. And we'll be back in a moment for the start of the formation lap. So, as we get ready for the start of the race, as we're just sitting on the grid waiting, looking at one of the McLarens, of course, Adrian starting 8th, pretty good starting point for him, second in the championship, of course, as well. One of the Mercedes drivers towards the top, Chocky, 7th place for him as we get engines starting ready for this formation lap. Salva of Apex Joe starting around that midfield as well. It's very tight between these drivers. The Racing Bulls as well down towards the back. Widget 13th place for him as the formation lap is just about to get underway. We are just a quick reminder, you're watching the 5th round of the season of F1 Racing League's Division 2 on All About Racing. If you're enjoying the content throughout this season and you're liking the video today, like the video, please, that would be much appreciated, and subscribe to the channel. For drivers watching later on, make sure you do put that like down because it brings your league further across YouTube. The formation lap has now started. We'll have a look at the tyre situation. We've got all 3 compounds of tyres, as you can see on your screen. The top 2 starting on the soft tyres and the 3 behind on the medium tyre. Chocky next after that, medium as well. We've only got one driver on the hard tyre, that's Vindog, who's trying to warm up the tyres whilst cutting the lawn all at the same time around the infield and outfield of the Interlagos circuit. But more of a soft medium, I think that's kind of the strategy here. Medium soft, soft medium. Hards, I think, is a more conservative option, sorry. But we'll wait and see. But keep an eye on Vindog. Maybe a safety car, something like that, may swing it in his favour. Potentially, you never know. So as we get lined up on the grid, Tomo taking that front place position, that coveted pole position as you start on a hill here. Luckily the game holds you in place, otherwise you would have to keep your foot slightly on the brake pedal. As we see the drivers all starting to line up, waiting for Apex Joe, who's just gone slightly wide just to get in his position, was loitering at the back for whatever reason. As we get the last few on the grid, we've got 3, 4 and 5 red lights. Tomo on pole, the Reaper alongside him. And we're foot flat to the floor here in the 5th round of the season in Brazil. Tomo getting a good launch off the start. The Reaper, though, alongside him as they go into turn 1. Is he going to go for a lunge? No. Has to stay where he is. Gets on the grass a little bit as well. Is a bit out of shape as Matt stays in 3rd place as Nazari comes around. Kerber de Sol on the charge as Mbolc actually on the charge on Nazaris. He's going to have to look in his rearview mirror as we go down towards the season of Largo. Turn 4 and 5 up the inside from Mbolc, and he gets past into 4th place. And Chief Badger up 3 places at the start already as we go up towards Ferrajula. A few drivers lagging behind towards the back. Is Chief Badger up another place now into Ferrajula. You don't see that all too often as Foxy tries to go at the inside of Adrian in that McLaren as well. Obviously reserving for that team, but he is second in the championship as we finish Sector 2. Proper in a moment is Tomo, followed by the Reaper, Matt, Mbolc, Nezari, Chocky, Chief Badger, Foxy, Adrian and Apex Joe round out the top 10 as we go up towards turn 1 out of Young Cow Corner. And the biggest gainer on that first lap has been Chief Badger with 4 places gained. Vindog lost 6 places from the start. He's the only one that has started on the hard tyre. DRS enabled already on the second lap, of course, in 2024. As we go around Kerber de Sol, we'll have that first DRS activation down towards Decido Largo, down the Reda Raposta. The Reaper to the inside on his sister Red Bull team and takes the lead place. Is anyone else going to go for a move into Deciso Largo? Not on lap 2. A lot of dust and all sorts flying up from the back of the cars. Augusta down in last place. So will Tomo respond back again when we go up the hill when DRS is available for the second time today? As Mbolc has made a mistake out of Young Cow and lost a handful of places. Chief Badger up another place up to 6th place as Tomo takes back the lead spot in the Grand Prix. 6th place in the championship at the moment. Got the fastest lap and the 3rd place finish last week in Hungary. Can he turn that into a win in the next week's race here in Brazil? Emotive Carrot, she made up a place through the CNRS and exiting Kerber de Sol up to 11th place. DRS for her as well to gain on the next car, which is Adrian in the McLaren. Chief Badger, another place for him here as Mbolc tries to gain some places back that he lost on the exit of Young Cow. Got a car off in the background there. That'll be Foxy, who's just gone slightly wide, and he's got Widget right behind him for company. I think Emotive Carrot, I think she lost another place after gaining one, with only in a few corners. Maybe wrong there. So, just when I had a moment of silence there, Tomo seemed to have got 3 seconds in the lead as Matt and Nazari. Keep saying that wrong anyway. I'm so sorry to the person who's going to watch this back later. Narais, I think that's better. I keep saying Nazari, but that's not right. Narais and Matt fighting for position in sector 1. Has to go single file through this part of the racetrack. Not for people like Apex Joe and Foxy. They're fighting for position all the way through the sequence of corners. .1 seconds now Tomo has to the next car. There's no rise. Saying that a bit better now, Joe. He's trying to go the long way round on the Reaper. We'll have the inside for turn 2, but the door usually closes from the driver trying to cut that line and use the racing line, which the Reaper did. But you get DRS again if you stay behind in that mid corner of the Senna S, and Narais up into second place. The 2 Mercedes 4th and 5th. So Grun up a few places now after starting in 17th up to 13th already with only a handful of laps gone. The top of the pack is very, very close together, bar Tomo, who's 3.1 seconds in the lead. The 2 Mercedes going to switch places here, they certainly are. Chalky up on his teammates and then goes straight into the side of Reaper, completely outbraked himself. Didn't even look like he was out of control, but obviously going way too fast into the corner as he now gets back on the racetrack down in 14th. Has he accumulated damage from that? He surely must have done. The Reaper has now lost another place as he's secured damage, or incurred damage. Not sure. I don't know how he got away with it there. As Matt moves up 2 places as Chief Badger and M Bulk fight for position in the mid part of the lap. Oh, is that me? We might have an issue with the lobby. I'm unsure. We'll stay with it for now. Narais has left the session. I've had a few cars, I think, leave the session here. Adrian as well. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get any of them in. I don't think I am. So I'm not added to them on EA and I'm on PlayStation. Hopefully they'll be getting back in, but that is an issue. We have lost a good few cars there. Foxy as well. Motive Carrot, she's gone. Chocky, Bucko, I think this might have to be a restart, but not too far into the race. But a lot of drivers have left the session. So I'll have a quick look in the Discord. And I think... oh, that's a DNF. See, I'm not 100% sure what's going on at the moment because there's a lot of drivers who are not here. I'm not 100% sure. I think a lot of drivers are trying to say that we're going to get a restart. Because there are a lot, as I keep saying, there are a lot of drivers who have left. So we're just trying to get this sorted. As Foxy's joined, we've had a few now join back, so we may carry on. Just still keeping an eye out for confirmation on that. I believe we're going to get a restart. Is what I believe. We've had a lot of people. Yeah, there's half the grid are here. Okay guys, we'll just pause the stream for a moment. It might be 5 or 10 minutes, so just bear with us and we'll be back in a minute.